Some of the comments I read are absolute trash. Welcome back to the Financial Logistician. I'm your host, All Nighter Hider. And I was just watching a video on, it was by Joel Persinger, the gun guy, on Gun Guy TV here on YouTube. And, what was he talking about? He's talking about cops have too much immunity, too much qualified immunity. And the comment that got me, I mean, I totally agree with that. Cops need to be held to a higher standard. I don't care if that drains half the Leos. I don't care. If we have half our Leos are substandard, get them out of here. Besides the point, the comment that got me was just absolute garbage. I mean, I guess it's intended for the stupid idiots. So idiot being legally defined as it's something like someone whom the state presumes doesn't have comprehension, nor will they ever have comprehension. It's something like that. But an idiot is a legally defined word, and a stupid idiot is a compounding idiot. So yeah, compounding idiots should probably follow this advice. The advice was, if you get arrested, to shut up and don't talk to the cops. Now, that may sound good on its face, but it is piss poor advice. You may as well drink your own piss. It's just, that advice is so incredibly bad and will probably get you in a lot more trouble. It certainly will not prevent more trouble. So, my advice is pretty much the complete opposite, actually. I mean, don't get arrested. Yeah, don't get arrested. Don't do things that get you arrested. But with so much perceived authority, sometimes being arrested is not avoidable. So if you do find yourself being arrested, open your mouth. Don't shut up. For God's sakes, ask as many questions as you possibly can fit in. Force them to gag you. I mean, honestly, ask questions and keep asking questions. Accountability provoking questions. He who is asking is as king. Spell that one out. Asking as king. It's just little fun semantics, but definitely don't shut up. If you shut up, that's essentially tacit acquiescence. Silence is acceptance. Tacit acquiescence. Tacit acquiescence. Silence is acceptance. So if you're just sitting there being raped by the cops and you're just shutting up, you're basically accepting it. I don't care. I want my lawyer. That's not accountability kind of question. What you need to do is ask them, demand, don't just ask, demand for their credentials. If they cannot produce any credentials, they're an imposter. Straight up. Straight up. I don't care if they're driving a cop car. I've seen those things in the movies. I don't care if they flash some badge at you. I can get those things at a pawn shop. I don't give a fuck. If they don't have correct credentials, they are an imposter, and you should question their intentions. So many documented instances of, well, two things. People that, like, desperately need to be a cop. These people are sick in the head, number one. But they so desperately need to be a cop that they go out and commit felonies by impersonating cops. And go and they buy like old Crown Vics with the spotlights on them. They maybe don't have like the red and white or the red and blues, but they'll have spotlights on them. They'll look pretty official, right? I mean, these were officially used cop vehicles. Well, now they look, I don't know, maybe undercover-ish. And guys will go and buy these things. This is so funny to me. I mean, it's like a mental illness, but I'm not making fun of that. Their action is funny, their mental illness is not. That honestly should be taken care of. They should get some kind of help for that. But point being is that guys will want to be a cop, and they will go and make themselves into official looking cops. I kid you not, they will go and like issue traffic warnings to people, unsuspecting motorists. I don't know what a motorist is. Unsuspecting travelers, and like issue warnings and get away with it. In fact, there was one I was watching, like I don't know, it was like Forensic Files or something like that. That wasn't Forensic Files because it's totally different. But it was one of those kinds of shows that follows like cop activities, and sure enough, this beat cop or highway patrolman, something like that, state trooper, whatever, he's trooping and comes across this like, I think the guy had red and whites on top, or red and blues on top of his car, and he's got somebody pulled over. So this official cop, I'm assuming, I didn't see his credentials, this official cop goes and talks to this other guy and finds out he's committing what what equates to a felony. And the felon now, he's just like pleading with the guy, oh please, I just want to be a cop so bad. I'm sorry, it's really funny. Oh man, so that, I mean, instances like that are documented, but also instances where the criminals announce themselves to be cops at like a front door, like they're serving a warrant, and people unknowingly, not asking for credentials, not demanding credentials, will open the door, and there you go. They burst themselves in, they force themselves in, and then you got a home invasion going on. That happens all the time. All the time. It's if you think about it, it's pretty smart. But for a criminal who's not smart, obviously to be a criminal, it's pretty smart. But yeah, these things happen. So if you do find yourself getting arrested, demand credentials. I can virtually guarantee they won't have them, and because of that, your case will most likely get dismissed as long as you stand on that square. They cannot procedurally conduct themselves procedurally incorrect and get away with shit. Not if you're standing on your square, which is exactly what I'm dealing with right now with the Fish and Game, Fish and Wildlife, because they didn't have any credentials, and I'm not letting that go. No way, no how. What are you doing, kitty? So, if you do get pulled over, ask questions. It could be, what's the date? But get them talking. And I would advise them, actually, I'm going to do this next time. I'm going to advise them of their Miranda rights. Anything they say can and will be used against them. Also, film them. I highly recommend you film every encounter you have with law enforcement. It keeps them accountable, right? Man, with that though, the spider web is just, it's deep, and it's deep. If you do film them, you can't just go and submit evidence. It's not just like, hey, here you go, state, here's my evidence. There's proper ways of submitting evidence. So go and make sure you read your civil rules of procedure about submitting evidence to that specific court. Man, I go for hours, but I don't have hours. In fact, my phone's going to cut out pretty soon because it's almost up on memory. So, yeah, I'll end at that. If you do get pulled over, just to recap, if you do get, sorry, I'm chewing on shit I'm pulling out of my teeth too. If you do get pulled over and you're finding that you are getting arrested, which if you're not free to leave, then you are arrested. That's a fact. Detaining is the same thing as being under arrest. Same exact thing. So if you do find yourself arrested, don't shut up. Don't be that guy. Don't allow it to happen. If you were getting raped, sexually assaulted, would you shut up? I don't think so. I know if I were getting raped, I'd be screaming, I'd be fighting, I'd be going crazy, I'd be going apeshit, I'd be fighting for my life. Not that my sexuality is my life, but if my manhood's taken from me, I don't even want to go down that route. So don't shut up. Just don't shut up around cops. They don't have the kind of authority that they claim. They still have to follow procedures. So hold them to those procedures. Stand on your square. If you demand credentials and they don't give them to you, demand them again, and demand them again, and demand them again, and continue to demand them. And as you demand them, you'll probably think of other questions, other provocative kind of questions. Like, what's your sergeant going to think of this? You operating without your credentials. What's the judge going to think of this? Me demanding your credentials and you not giving them to me. I mean, get them thinking. Get them thinking, get them talking. That's what I say. That's my advice to you. So with that, invest accordingly. Don't get pulled over. Don't get arrested. But if you do, don't shut up. Oh man, unless you are an idiot and you know that you will dig yourself into a deeper hole, then yeah, maybe shut up. But if you know that you have questions that can be asked, open your mouth and ask them. That's the best thing you can do when getting arrested. Demand answers. Yeah, and then don't let those questions go away. Because you can ask it a million times, but if it gets to the point where like you're in front of a judge and you don't demand that question at the right time, it's as though you never asked it. Tacit acquiescence. Silence is acceptance. Don't shut up. Be smart enough to ask the right questions. And with that, I'm out. I gotta go eat some more dinner. So I'm the host. I'm eating dinner right now. As gross as that is. I'm eating lunch. I'm your host, All-Nighter Hider, the financial logistician, telling you, speak your mind and invest accordingly.